Welcome to Focus Flexibility. I'm Coach Courtney and I'll be leading you through your session today. Today's session is going to be focused on movement and stretches to improve your turnout. A couple things you may need before we get started is a space about body's width, a yoga mat, and a couple optional items are a pillow or a foam pad for your knees. So if you'd like to get those items, press pause in that video and then come back to get started. All right, once you are ready, come down to your floor or mat and bring your hands to an all fours position. Hands right under the shoulders. We're going to take an all four hip cross. What that means is we're going to be warming up that hip socket. We're going to bring the leg out to the side, then we're going to let it rotate from the top of the hip and then back down to the floor. So you're opening out to the side, finding that external rotation, rotating back and in. So for this dancers, focus on keeping a neutral spine. We're not trying to arch our back and get our leg high. We're truly focusing on that hip socket rotation and warming up the joints. We're going to do this about 5 or 6 times, so I want you to take about 3 more times for me. Try to send the knee out as far as you can before rotating in. One more. And we're going to reverse that motion like on to dawn. Back behind you, opening out to the side, and bringing down to the floor. Good. 3. Trying to get the hips as still as possible. 4. 5. You're doing great. Use that breath. 6. Last one. All right, switch sides. You can stay where you are. I'll just face the other way for you. Going out to the side. Rotating behind you to that 90 degree and rolling back down to the floor. As you bring one leg to the side, think of the knees serving out like you're creating a tabletop. Back to that 90 and in. Good. 2 more. Last one. And let's reverse. Other way. Back. Open to the side and lower with control. As you're here, are you bracing your core? Are you keeping your shoulders over your hands? And are you using that active breath, meaning inhaling in through the nose and exhaling nice and controlled out through the mouth? Last 2. And one more. And pressing back to a child's pose. And rolling up. All right, guys, come to a seated position. So to work on our turnout, we're going to work on not only external rotation, but also internal rotation of the hips, which will ultimately help that external rotation. So seated nice and tall. If you have a wall, feel free to bring your back and tailbone to the wall. Hands out to your side. Feet a little bit wider than your shoulders. We're going to take what's called a shin box. Keeping our hips on the floor as much as we can. We're going to rotate the one leg in as we're externally rotating the other leg out. And then back to the center. So when we're doing this, even if you have that rotation externally on that right leg, don't let yourself flop over to this direction, but keep that sit bone attached to the floor. Focus on equal internal and external. Good. Now, if you get major discomfort in your hip flexors here, feel free to sit back a little bit on the diagonal or walk your feet out a little bit further away from you. And as you get more comfortable with the movement, slowly walk those feet in. Let's take 4 more steps. Good. 2. Last one. Good. All right. We are going to come over to a 90-90, almost like 2 attitudes in a modern dance, flexing those feet. What we're going to do is we get up. What that means, we're going to use our external rotation to get up, sitting tall, and lowering down with control. So pressing down for the 2 shins and lower down. From the front, that looks like this. And lower. We're going to take 8 to 10, so we've got about 6 more. Lower. 5. 4. If this bothers your knees, you can put a little pillow or pad under your knees or double up that mat. 2 more. 2. 1. All right, nice work on that active stretch. Stay where you are. Bring those elbows down in front of you. Flex both feet. So that back leg, we are going to try to lift the knee off the floor, finding that external rotation like an attitude. Lower the knee down, and you're going to send the toes to the sky, turning in as much as you can, and reverse. So lifting up, and lower, and turn in 8 sets. So when you do this, don't worry about how big of a lift that is, even if it's just barely coming off the ground.
I've been on my own for a minute. Is it only me out there?
Try to keep the focus out.
Searching for the place to begin it. Is it me? Is it you? Is it
Good. Halfway.
Standing on the line I was given. People stare and ask me why I'm
As you take the internal rotation,
no one seems to think
keep those hips still. Let that rotation happen from the top of the hip socket. As if it's like your hip is a doorknob and you're opening up the door and then closing the door shut. 2 more. 1 more. Good work, guys. Good. All right. Bring yourself up to the hands. Feel free to stay on a diagonal. So we're going to take what is called a shin box heel drag. That back heel, you're going to lift off the floor. You're going to rotate it around, bring it to the front, and then out to the side. So from the front, that looks like we're taking a full rotation, opening up the hip, and then bringing it behind you, letting the heel drag. For if it gives you any discomfort or you want a little bit more of a progression, bring your forearms to the floor. As you lift, open it up as much as you can, and then lower. Now this one, you might really feel it in that hip socket or right around the rotators of the glutes. And that is perfectly okay. Just focus on how far you rotate, what you can handle for today. And then challenge yourself for a little more rotation the next time you do this session. 2 more. Last one. Sit up. Alrighty, the leg that was just behind you. We're going to bring that leg in front of us. Right crossing over our left thigh. And sit yourself back to the floor. We're going to take a figure 4 stretch, flexing both feet. Reach your hands to the thigh behind you and bring your knee to your chest. We're going to take a static stretch here. Holding it here for about 20 seconds. Inhale in. And exhale out. Now, if you'd like a little deeper stretch, you can extend that top leg, reaching for the calf or ankle. Your hips can rock off the floor. And breathe. Inhale in. Exhale. Inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Bring both knees to your chest. Take a little rock side to side. And rolling up to a seated position. Great work, guys. Guess what? It's time to do that left side, going to that V get up. So bring that left foot in front, those two flex attitudes. Hands to your chest or hips. Lifting up and lower down. 2, 8 to 10. 3. As you lift up, think of your rotators and your glutes rotating out and lowering down. Awesome. 6, 7. 2 more. If you know the song, sing along. Always a good way to get through a warm-up or stretch. 1 more. Alrighty, bring those elbows forward to the floor. Flexing those feet. It is time to lift the backside off the floor or just hovering, lower, and then turning in and down. And yes, our flex chair, it might feel a little weird. That's okay. It's about cutting the energy out through the back of the leg. 3. Now you might notice that one side might have a little more external or internal rotation than the other. That is perfectly okay. Just be aware of that and listen to what your body needs for that particular side. And progress from there. Halfway. 3 more. 2. 'Last one. Alright, if you ever heel drag, you can stay on your elbows or lift up to your hands. You decide. Back heel is going to lift, sliding around, and then dragging to the back. Around and back. 3. Whatever plane you're on, think of keeping a neutral spine. Tall through that neck. Halfway. 6. 2 more. 7. 8. All right, bring that leg to the front. The leg that was just taking the drag, cross it over the opposite thigh. Lay to your back. Bring your hands behind your opposite thigh. We're going to take a static stretch here. Your hand can behind your thigh, or extend that leg for a deeper stretch, reaching for your calf or ankle. Your hips can rock up the floor and hold here.
Stop the voice in my mind that makes beauty feel ugly sometimes. I got a voice I want to scream. I gotta own every part of me, all for the sake of love. I don't wanna hate, I wanna
Most hair.
and appreciate the pieces on the floor.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And shake it out. Great job, you guys. And continue to rock over to your side. So with rotation, as much flexibility we want strength in our glutes and rotators to hold that rotation, especially as we're dancing and doing all the different movement and tricks that you are working on. So bring your feet together with flexed feet, hand to the side. we are going to take a clam plank. You are going to lift the hip off the floor, rotating like you're going into a butterfly position. Engage both glutes, and then lower down. We have 10. 1. And lower. 2. And lower. 3. Lower. You got it. 4. Keep going. Now do know that if you want to give yourself a challenge with this exercise, if you do have one of those circular resistant bands, feel free to put that on around your thighs. That adds a little resistance and it gives you that extra challenge for this exercise. 4. 3. You got it. 2. 1. And switch sides, swing those legs around. All right, elbow right under your shoulder, feet flex, make sure your feet are in line with your hips, knees in front of you. Here we go, 10, 1, and lower, 2, 3, lower, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. Great work, everyone. We are going to end with a static stretch in our frog position. Laying on your belly, bringing those feet together, knees out to the side. Heels together, and let your head come to the floor. Now what I will say here, I'm going to stay up so you can see me. If you have a full flat frog and you don't feel anything here, that's totally okay. I want to challenge you to take a wide frog, so you're in a second position, and then trying to send those hips to the floor. Sending your knees out to the floor, holding here, head down. Take a deep inhale in, and imagine there's 2 strings on your knees and they're pulling out to the 2 walls to your side. And again, inhale in, and exhale out. Inhale in, and exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And extend those legs behind you. And when you're ready, bring yourself up to a seated position. Wonderful work today, everyone. Thank you for joining me for your session. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us via email or on social media. Have a great rest of your day and see you again soon.